Imagine walking through a zoo. You stop at the primate exhibit, a carefully constructed habitat designed to look natural. The animals inside have trees to climb, rocks to sit on, space to roam. They form social groups. They use simple tools. They seem content. They have no idea they're being watched. Now imagine, you're not the visitor at the zoo. You're the exhibit. What if the reason we've never found evidence of alien civilizations isn't because they don't exist? What if it's because they've already found us and made a deliberate decision to leave us alone? Not out of indifference, but because we're more valuable to them untouched, uncontacted, unaware. What if Earth is a cosmic nature preserve and humanity is the wildlife? This isn't science fiction. It's a real hypothesis proposed by an MIT radio astronomer. There's no evidence it's true, no proof we're being watched. But the question he raised, and the disturbing logic behind it, deserves exploration. In 1973, radio astronomer John Ball published a paper in the journal Icarus that proposed one of the most unsettling solutions to the Fermi Paradox ever suggested. He called it the zoo hypothesis. To be absolutely clear, Ball wasn't claiming he had evidence that Earth was a zoo. He was proposing a theoretical explanation for why we haven't detected alien civilizations despite the mathematical probability that they should exist. It's an educated guess, not a proven fact. The logic was disturbingly simple. If our galaxy is billions of years old, and if intelligent life isn't unique to Earth, then statistically, there should be civilizations millions or even billions of years more advanced than us. As we explored in our previous video, these civilizations could have spread throughout the galaxy long ago. They should be everywhere. So where are they? Ball's speculative answer: they're already here. They've been here all along. They're just choosing not to reveal themselves. The zoo hypothesis proposes that Earth is essentially a wildlife preserve, set aside by one or more advanced civilizations who've agreed to let us develop naturally, without interference. In this scenario, we're not abandoned, we're not overlooked, we're quarantined. Think about how human scientists study endangered species. We don't walk into the middle of a chimpanzee troop and start teaching them mathematics. We observe from a distance. We use hidden cameras. We minimize our impact. We want to understand their natural behavior, their authentic development. Now scale that thinking up to cosmic proportions, hypothetically. Ball argued that any civilization advanced enough to reach Earth would also be advanced enough to hide from us completely. They could, theoretically, observe us without leaving a trace. They could enforce a galactic consensus, a hands-off policy regarding emerging civilizations like ours. In essence, there might be a cosmic ethics committee somewhere that's declared Earth off-limits. Again, this is pure speculation. But the question remains, if it were true, why would they do it? 13 years before Ball published his hypothesis, science fiction writer Gene Roddenberry introduced television audiences to something called the Prime Directive, the highest law of Star Trek's United Federation of Planets. It stated that no Starfleet personnel could interfere with the natural development of alien civilizations. It was fiction, but the ethics behind it reflect real philosophical debates about intervention versus observation. Let's explore this speculatively. Any species that survives long enough to achieve interstellar travel has necessarily passed through what scientists call filters, potentially civilization-ending challenges: nuclear war, environmental collapse, artificial intelligence, biological weapons, energy crises. They've been where we are now. They've faced the same precipice. And somehow they survived. Perhaps, and this is purely theoretical, they've learned something we haven't yet, that civilizations must solve these challenges on their own. That interference, even well-meaning interference, might rob a species of crucial developmental steps. Or, worse, might introduce problems they're not ready to handle. Imagine giving nuclear weapons to medieval knights, artificial intelligence to Victorian England, faster than light travel to a species that still fights over racial differences, and invisible borders. The gift could become a curse. Help could become harm. Under this speculative interpretation, the zoo hypothesis isn't about cruelty or indifference. It's about wisdom. If true, and we have no evidence it is, they wouldn't be keeping us in a cage. They'd be keeping us in a nursery, protected from threats we can't imagine. Protected from knowledge that would destroy us. Protected perhaps from them. But let's follow this hypothesis to its logical conclusion. Protection would require observation. You can't protect what you don't watch. If the zoo hypothesis were correct, which, to be clear, we have no evidence for, then Earth wouldn't just be quarantined. It would be monitored. Every radio signal we broadcast, every spacecraft we launch, every nuclear weapon we test, every step we take toward becoming a spacefaring civilization. In this scenario, they'd be taking notes. Since the dawn of radio, we've been broadcasting our development to anyone who might be listening. Our wars, our entertainment, our political struggles, our scientific breakthroughs. An unfiltered, unedited stream of human consciousness expanding outward at the speed of light. If someone were watching, and again we have no proof anyone is, we wouldn't just be exhibits. We'd be exhibits that narrate our own story. This speculation might explain something strange about our cosmic neighborhood, what scientists call the Great Silence. If the zoo hypothesis were correct, the galaxy wouldn't be silent because it's empty. It would be silent because everyone else is following the rules. They'd be keeping quiet to avoid contaminating our development. We'd be the only ones shouting in the library because we don't know it's a library. The disturbing implication of this thought experiment is that if we were being watched, the watchers would know everything about us. Our history, our psychology, our weaknesses. They'd have watched us evolve from hunter-gatherers to a nuclear-armed species. They'd have cataloged our wars, our religions, our art, our failures. They might understand us better than we understand ourselves. But remember, this is all theoretical. We're exploring an idea, not stating a fact. But let's push this speculation further. Even the most carefully maintained zoo has protocols for intervention. Even the strictest non-interference policy might have exceptions. The question that makes this hypothesis so intriguing is, what would make them break their silence? John Ball proposed several possibilities. Hypothetical trigger 1, self-destruction. If we were valuable to them as a unique example of evolved life, as a scientific study, or for reasons we can't imagine, they might intervene to prevent our extinction. Nuclear war, runaway climate change, a gray goo scenario with nanotechnology. The moment our self-destruction becomes certain, might be the moment the hypothetical observers would step in. Hypothetical trigger 2, leaving the nursery. Every zoo has walls. If Earth were a preserve, it would have boundaries. The moment we develop technology capable of true interstellar travel, or worse, the moment we actually attempt it, we might trigger contact. Hypothetical trigger 3, detecting them first. The zoo hypothesis assumes they're hiding successfully. But what if we spotted them anyway? The moment we could see them might be the moment they'd be forced to reveal themselves. Hypothetical trigger 4, creating new intelligence. The development of artificial general intelligence, a new form of consciousness, might violate the terms of our theoretical quarantine. We'd no longer be a single species developing naturally. We'd be something else. The truly thought-provoking possibility is that we're already approaching one or more of these theoretical triggers. The zoo hypothesis forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about our place in the universe. Even if it's just a thought experiment, we wouldn't be alone. We'd be surrounded. We wouldn't be ignored. We'd be studied. We wouldn't be free. We'd be managed. But perhaps most disturbing is what it would say about our future. If we were being kept in a preserve, it would be because we're not ready for what's outside. The galaxy beyond might be filled with wonders we can't comprehend, or dangers we're being shielded from. Either way, in this scenario, we'd be children playing in a nursery, unaware of what waits outside the door. And this leads to a deeper question. If we were being watched, why us? In all the cosmos, Something about Earth would have made an advanced civilization pause, made them draw boundaries, made them decide we were worth preserving. Maybe it's our art. Maybe it's our curiosity. Maybe it's our contradictions. Or maybe we're just interesting. The zoo hypothesis suggests that we're not the observers. We're the observed. It's humbling. It's unsettling. And while we have no evidence it's true, it's not something we can completely rule out. The zoo hypothesis remains what it's always been, an idea. One possible answer to the question, where is everybody? We have no evidence Earth is a cosmic zoo. No proof we're being watched. But as our technology advances, we get closer to testing ideas like this. Closer to looking. Closer to knowing. And when that day comes, when we finally find out what's really out there, the question won't just be whether aliens exist. It will be whether we're ready for the answer. Are we a species worth knowing? Are we ready to step outside the enclosure? Or are we still just clever animals, unaware that we might be part of something much bigger? The most unsettling part of this idea isn't that we might be in a zoo. It's that right now, we have no way of knowing.